what's happening, everybody? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for another special video. I think I'd be doing too many of these since I have my Road to WrestleMania series going on right now, but unfortunately it's come down to this, as I am making a video talking about the breaking news that broke to this morning as far as the WWE world is concerned. It was breaking news saying that Seth Rollins has apparently re-injured his surgically repaired knee on Monday Night Raw when he was attacked by Samoa Joe. The debuting Samoa Joe on the main roster, which was a really gold segment. That whole segment with Triple H and Samoa Joe and Seth Rollins was just gold. Really solid segment, and hats off to all three of them for how good of a job they did. Now, I actually just have been confirmed that this injury is in fact real. For quite a few hours today, I was a little more convinced, not completely, but I was a little more convinced that this injury was kayfabe. I thought that it might be for storyline purposes, which I thought either way it fits well. Because my thing was I was wondering, why would they wait until today to tell us that he re-injured his knee when they had no information yet? When Raw was on Monday and they didn't release the footage of him walking out of the building on crutches until today also. I just found it a little bit strange why they waited until today and not just yesterday, especially if they had no details at all about anything with the injury, like how long he's going to be out, the severity of it. We don't know. I still don't know quite that much yet. I did hear one rumor though that he might be out 4 to 6 months. That's been unconfirmed, but I hope that's not happening. And it's just a shame, even in the end, the long term, even if he is going to have to be out for another 4 to 6 months, when he comes back and when he finally reclaims the title and hopefully finally gets his hands on Triple H and beats him, it's going to be quite a story. This all happened, Seth Rollins turned his back on the Shield, we know, back on June 2nd, 2014, and aligned with the Authority. And he was getting everything he ever wanted. Everything. And then he got the title after he was Mr. Money in the Bank. He got the title when he cashed it in at WrestleMania 31, which was one of my, not my top WrestleMania favorite moment, but one of my top favorite WrestleMania moments. And he had a good long-length title run, even though he wasn't really booked in the best feuds he could probably get. And part of his moment was because he wasn't really booked as the strongest champion. But I think, especially after he won the title for title match against Cena, I think fans really then started to, and he started winning matches by himself, fans really started to, invest in him. And then, I believe it was November 4th, 2015, in Dublin, Ireland, on a live event, he was wrestling Kane in a street fight for the title, and he goes to do one of his usual sunset flips, and he lands on the instep of his right leg, and because of that, he had to relinquish the title, and he tore his ACL, his MCL, and his meniscus. So he had to he got surgery a week later. And if you watch the special on his recovery, WWE 24, really good WWE 24 special, one of the best ones, one of my favorite ones. I watched that one, the one about Daniel Bryan all the time. Please make sure to check those out. He came back, he made a surprise return at Extreme Rules after Roman Reigns beat AJ Styles, and he did a pedigree on Reigns, pretty much just a 30-second press conference as he described in WWE 24, saying, "I'm back, and let's get the show going, and I wanted my title back." So, but a lot of fans didn't like how they brought him back as a heel. And I'll be honest, especially after that 24 special, it made you want to like Seth Rollins and invest in him more, which it did to me. But he brought him back as a heel, but I still think the way he was written as a heel, leading up to his Money in the Bank match with Roman Reigns, which was a really good match between those two, and he beat Reigns clean that night also. No controversy at all. But where was I going with this? But yeah, most of those promos that him and Reigns had, I just more so saw it as Vince McMahon through Seth Rollins saying, "Hey, come on, hate me, love Roman. And everything worked out good in the end. He got drafted to Raw. It was the first overall pick in the 2016 draft. He faced Finn Balor for the Universal title at SummerSlam. the title got relinquished. And here's where the long-term story for his upcoming match, hopefully upcoming match at WrestleMania 33, since that's all now up in the air now. He was involved in a fatal 4-way elimination match for the WWE Universal Championship, for the vacate WWE Universal Championship, and it was between him, Big Cass, Kevin Owens, and Roman Reigns. And during the match, Big Cass, they all had a strong showing. Big Cass was the first one eliminated, as we all assumed he would be, but he had a strong showing. Towards the end of the match, it's still just Owens, Rollins, and Reigns. And Triple H comes out and plants Reigns with a pedigree, and rolls him into the ring and tells Seth, I'm sorry, I have a sister named Steph also, Seth, to pin him. And he does, and it looks like he's about to do the same thing to Owens. So Rollins getting up, walking over, and then Triple H turns around and kicks him in the gut, and he pedigrees Rollins, and we were all shocked. This was a long-awaited turn coming to happen, but it finally happened, and Kevin Owens that night won a Universal title. Months go by, we never find out anything. Rollins here and there mentions it, how he wants to get his hands on Triple H, but he feuds with Triple H's guy he handpicked to win the Universal title, pretty much, Kevin Owens, and Chris Jericho, which it eventually just turned into Rollins just being Reigns' new buddy, just to try to get everybody to not boo Reigns, which that didn't work out so well. But then, within the past few weeks, this is where everything started to get good again. Rollins was set to be in the Royal Rumble. Then Sami Zayn wanted to be in the Royal Rumble, but Stephanie McMahon did this thing where she had Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn fight, and whoever won would be in the Rumble. Seth Rollins wins, he stays in the Rumble, Zayn's not in. If Sami Zayn won, Sami would be in the Rumble and Seth Rollins would be out. So the match was probably one of the only good things about Raw that week. And then it looked like Seth was about to pin Zayn for the win, when all of a sudden Triple H's music hit. Nobody came out, and Zayn rolled him up for the pinfall. And then Seth was pissed. And we're like, yes, we're finally getting a direction with this long-awaited feud going between these two. So I expected something to happen between these two at the Royal Rumble. But we got that the night before, and I think it made a lot more sense. As I said in my Road to WrestleMania video, Seth Rollins literally invaded and took over NXT TakeOver San Antonio, saying he knows he's here. I want you to come out here now, Triple H. Let's do this. Triple H just came out at the rampway, just called security, and escorted Rollins out of the building. Rollins would then be banned from the arena at the Royal Rumble, but it was announced at the Royal Rumble that the following night on Raw, Stephanie McMahon and Seth Rollins would come out to the ring and be face-to-face. And that happened, and of course, we always expect something to be terrible with Stephanie McMahon, because you just get sick of Stephanie McMahon, the Stephanie McMahon character, because it's how she just buries talent. But this segment between the two of them was very good. Seth Rollins said he'll do anything he has to do to slay the king, which he's referred to Triple H, as he would, go to his house, go to his office, go here and there, he'll go anywhere. And then Stephanie said, I lied. Triple H is on his way right now, and he's coming for you. So we're all like, yes, this is going to be awesome. So, here is how the injury played out. At the end of the night, Triple H came, and he came down to the ring, and he pretty much started explaining, what happened between him and Seth. He said how, he told Seth he can give him everything he wanted. He just had to hold up his end of the bargain, and then he got injured and his knee gave out, and he was imitating Rollins coming down to the ring crying, saying I have to relinquish my title, blah blah blah. And Triple H said he couldn't handle his side of the bargain, he couldn't handle the pressure, it got too much. So I had to do what I had to do. And then he said, and here's the thing. I liked how this sort of filled out the reasons why we weren't seeing Triple H for months, and why this feud was going where. But at the same time, they could have done something a little more with Seth Rollins to keep, building towards this eventual feud. So So then Triple H explained how he's been trying so hard not to be that guy anymore who just destroys people and ends careers and just be more of a creator. But when Seth Rollins showed up at NXT, while he's trying to be a creator and create the next big thing in this company, which even said is could be the next Seth freaking Rollins, that just pushed his buttons, pushed him over the edge. He says, "I am so done trying." And that's when he took off his blazer. It looked like he was getting ready for a fight, and he told Seth to come out and meet your destroyer. Seth comes out, walks down to the ring, and all of a sudden, pow! Out of nowhere, and I'm like, who the heck? What? And yes, it was the debuting Samoa Joe. And this whole segment washed out my bad taste of me not being happy about Joe being in the Royal Rumble, I'm sorry. But Joe came out, and he pretty much did Triple H's bidding. Now, here's where the injury supposedly happened. It was at the end of the segment, Joe got Rollins locked up in the coquina clutch. And when he went to take him down, as I watched the footage again, it looked like his right knee, the same knee that he injured against Kane in Dublin, Ireland, apparently must have buckled when Joe was taking him down. And someone on YouTube, I can't remember who it was, I watched moments before I saw this video, I recorded this video, even said that if you turn up the audio in that when you watch that footage, and you can even tell from reading the lips of Seth Rollins, you can hear Seth Rollins saying, "Ow, my leg," and then Joe saying, "You okay?" And you can tell Rollins from what he's saying with his mouth saying, "I hope so." And then here's a shot of Rollins coming out of the arena on crutches, but he's putting some pressure on his knee, so I don't know what's going to happen. But that's apparently how the injury happened. And then just moments ago, also, he actually posted these tweets on Twitter to actually just confirm that this injury is in fact real, unfortunately. And he said, "Wanted to take a second to thank everyone who has reached out to me over the last 2 days. Life doesn't always go your way, but that is no excuse to surrender. If anything, obstacles exist to help us grow and evolve. This re-injury to my surgically repaired knee is real, and a lot is up in the air right now. But one thing remains constant, my resolve. This doesn't end for me until I've reclaimed the throne. And for me, fighting and defeating Triple H is the only way I will work harder than I ever have and push myself beyond what I know. This isn't over. The only way to wear the crown is to slay the king. I know what must be done, and there's nothing that can stop me." That was Seth Rollins, what he said, sending out to the fans, letting them know what's going on, clear in the air. Because even earlier, Samoa Joe posted a tweet saying something like, "Triple H, I think I've done the duty as being your destroyer," or something like that, but something along that. So that was, either way, well, his injury is, which we know for sure is real now, but even if it was kayfabe, it works out great. And then I actually posted a tweet replying to Seth Rollins saying, well, actually it has to be split in two since Twitter you can only type so many characters, and I said, "Do what you have to do, Seth. Things may seem rough now, but when you reclaim the title again, it will be one heck of a story. A setback is only setting you up for a comeback. Hashtag always a supporter." So yeah, it pretty much seems that Seth Rollins is legitimately hurt, and we don't know yet the timetable of when he will return. We don't know yet if his match at WrestleMania is going to be canceled. If something happens, if it is, my thing is have him fight Triple H at SummerSlam, and then work his way to eventually maybe like feud with Joe, have that feud with Joe in the fall, maybe, I don't know, unless if you wanted to do him and Joe at SummerSlam, and then maybe have him face Triple H at the Rumble or something like that in 2018, and then at WrestleMania 34 reclaim that title. That would be one heck of a story. Like literally, this all has me feeling for Seth Rollins the same way I felt for Daniel Bryan whenever I first started watching. Like Seth Rollins to me right now is with the story he's been going through outside of the ring, he's building himself up, I think, as a top babyface in the company. I mean, I know how it kind of feels too. You know, I actually had a minor knee injury last summer, which was, it wasn't a terrible summer for me, but it was it was quite a summer, as I spent most of the summer trying to find work, getting my career off the ground as I just got out of school. And then my injury actually happened at a trampoline park. I was jumping on a trampoline. There were some friends, and I did a jump off one of the sidewalls. And when I came down, I think I was thinking to myself, oh, why did I do this? Because sometimes whenever I would do those side jumps off the sidewalls, I would come down and I would like land, but I would like keep going forward. And I was worried that I'd run into my friend who was on the trampoline right next to me. So I think I tried to stop myself, and I rolled on my knee. And I did feel some type of a pop in my knee, and it freaked the heck out of me because I thought at first I hurt my ACL. When I went to walk and sit down, it felt like half of my knee was going one way, half was going the other way. It felt really, really weird. But I was not hurting. My knee was not hurting from behind, which usually is where the ACL is. So I knew it couldn't have been the ACL. They did an injury report there. Somebody looked at me and they said they believe it's just a hyperextension. So I just I might take it a little too easy last summer, but I wasn't really able to play sports much last summer. I definitely did baby a little too long. And then actually this past month, I actually did kind of hurt it again. It was nothing major, but I was just playing basketball. I got a pass in the paint. I wanted to turn to go for the shot. I just turned on it really, really quick, and I twisted it again. It was just a twist. Nothing popped. Just a little bit of a strain, but I've been trying to not take it as easy as I did when I first hurt it last summer, and I think it's come on pretty good. I just need to build a little more muscle back into it. But I know the feeling how it is with this type of knee injuries. But it's just a shame, Seth Rollins really was starting to get the momentum back in his character. He's starting to get direction again, and now he might have to miss his second WrestleMania in a row. As I said, though, in that tweet I posted, once he reclaims that title, and whenever that match with Triple H does happen, whether it's at WrestleMania or even if it has to be delayed till SummerSlam, it's going to be one heck of a story. So yes, that is my thoughts on the injury to Seth Rollins. He re-injured his right knee this past Monday night on Raw. No timetable yet on how long he'll be out or how much time he'll be missing, if he'll still be able to WrestleMania 33. Please stay tuned to WWE.com for more on the story, and please click that like and subscribe button to my channel for more video content waiting to come to this channel. And also make sure to follow me on Twitter at TheManAirboy93. Please check out my Elimination Chamber and Fastlane predicted match cards I also posted this past week. And for you people who are watching my channel more for my gaming videos, yes, with the past few days I was a little busy getting with this other stuff done with the Road to WrestleMania, Elimination Chamber, and Fastlane match cards. But I promise you, my next few videos will be the next few levels of my Wolfenstein 3D Final Battle custom levels. So I'll get back to those right away. And that's it, guys. With that, I'll see you all later, and get well, Seth Rollins.